Hello, Facebook world. It always takes me a second to find you guys. I hope you're having an amazing Friday. And what a gorgeous day it's going to be out there. After the storms came through the other night, we have a beautiful day ahead of us, and I hope you get to enjoy some of this Friday. All right. Well, I am so excited that you've joined us. Listen, as people are coming on, and I see several of you are coming on, do me a favor. If you've been here before, I already see them. You know exactly what to do. Throw those heart emojis up right now. Hit it like 15 times. Let me see it. Let me see it. Go. Go. Yes. This is awesome. I love watching you guys engage with us. It's super fun. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Awesome. Okay. If you've never joined us before, I see you. Thank you. If you've never joined us before, do me a favor and smash the like button like 15, 20 times right now. So many hearts coming through. Couple of question marks coming through. All right. Let me see it. Let me see it. Give me those like emojis if you've never been to one of our live events here before. I don't see any likes, so I guess we will get started. I have got an amazing panel with me today. We are talking about what it is to work for Epic, and we've got so many positions to fill for this next year. And so I brought on some specialists that can help us talk about that. So if you know somebody looking for a job, tag them right now. Throw their name in the comments section so that they get notified. Share this with your friends and family because we want you to join the Epic family. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guests for today. I've got Kyle Perkins. I call him Perk. I'm sure he hates it. Kyle Perkins, thank you so much for being here today. And Miss Patricia Cook, thank you so much for being here today. Kyle, I want to start with you. Tell us, because it's been a while since you've been on here. Who are you? How long have you been at Epic? And what is your role here at Epic?
Yes, thank you, Erin. It has been a while. I'm glad to be back. We are hiring again. So like you said, Kyle Perkins, I've been at Epic since 2014. I taught for a few years, and then I was a principal for a few years. And now this is finishing up my second year as the Director of Talent Acquisition. So my role in my department helps facilitate and helps us hire all positions inside of Epic. And so right now we're really focusing on bringing some awesome teachers on board. So happy to be here.
That is great. Thank you so much. And Miss Patricia, you are a longtime friend. How long have you been here and what is your role here at Epic?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me today, Erin. I am going to be celebrating this August 6 years with Epic, most of that time working in our special education department. And now I work with our You Teach team. I am a support specialist and I get to cheer on and mentor new teachers during their first year working with students. Really exciting job.
That is super exciting. And you know, like the rest of, you know how the special ed, how the regular teacher goes, and now you know how the You Teach goes because you've been in this role. What a great addition. And will you do me a favor real quick, Ms. Patricia? Tell us what You Teach is. For anybody who's watching right now who has no idea, like, what's You Teach? I don't know what that is. Tell us what it is so that they can kind of get a grasp of what it is.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of folks in Oklahoma who have come to a point in their life where they're maybe looking at a career change, wanting to do something different. Maybe they've always had that desire to work with families and to help students, but they don't really know the pathway to certification because they didn't originally go to college to get a teaching degree. And so what we're doing at You Teach at Epic this year is we're allowing those folks to come in, have a teacher residency where they're working with students, being mentored, and at the same time going through a certification program through the American Board for Certification of Teacher Excellence that helps them prepare for those content area exams and the tests you have to take to get a full teacher certification within a 1-year time frame. It's really a valuable opportunity, and it's helping a lot of folks who always wanted to step into the education world have the opportunity and the support to do that.
That is wicked awesome. Sorry, I sat on the teacher shortage task force for Joy Hoffmeister for 2 years, and that was one of the things they had talked about, how to bring people that are experts in the field in to teach our kids so that they can become experts in that field as well. What a beautiful resource, and I'm glad we're ready to start our second year with that. So, Kyle, talk to me about how many positions do you think we're looking for this next school year, and what kind of positions? I know we've got a couple varieties of teaching opportunities open. What's out there for these guys?
Yes, we have, like I said, multiple different positions. Hiring the You Teach, Reg Ed and SPED, I'll let Patricia talk more into that. But not only are we hiring our Reg Ed 101 teachers, our SPED 101 teachers, we also are hiring within our blended learning centers. So we have a BLC blended learning model. We have 2 locations in Oklahoma City. We have now 2 in Tulsa. So we have our elementary in Oklahoma City in Tulsa, and then our high school in Oklahoma City, and our high school in Tulsa will be the brand new location. So we are hiring just a plethora, all due to growth, which is just awesome. Our Stonegate Elementary, which is our elementary in OKC, is hiring a kindergarten teacher, first grade teacher, second grade, third grade, sixth grade, hiring at least 4 paraprofessionals. The high school is hiring a few content areas in Oklahoma City. Tulsa High School is brand new, so they're hiring everything. All content areas. They're looking at principals. We're looking for 2 principal in Tulsa and a principal in Oklahoma City. So really neat model that we have that's kind of unknown inside of Epic or outside of Epic, which is our blended learning center. And so Michelle Pontigos is doing a fantastic job running those. And she would love to be on here today, but she is just looking for just some awesome talent out there to bring onto our BLCs.
Okay, I just hit the share button because I just graduated from UCO a couple of years ago, and so many people going through that program are looking to get jobs as principals. And so if you've got that grad certificate and you want to come be a principal here, give us a call. So I just sent it out and tagged a few of you people out there in real time right here. Okay, well, we do have questions coming through. So I want to get to some of those. Patricia, because you've been a teacher in the model and I've been a teacher in the model, so I'll piggyback off of you. What does the typical one-on-one day look like outside of the BLCs? What can a teacher expect if they're hired to work in the one-on-one model?
Well, the thing I love about it is that every single day is different. Our teachers create their own schedules, working with families on their availability. And so on a Monday morning, you may work with some kids virtually on Zoom. You may get in your car and go meet with some kids in person in an Epic office. You may have phone calls or text messages with families. So it's always a dynamic work environment because all of our efforts are focused on helping families and students be successful. But our teachers have a lot of freedom and flexibility to do that in a lot of different ways. And so there are times where our teachers are spending time at their computer at home where they're creating lesson plans and emails. And then there are a lot of other times where they are spending that time face to face with those families and really digging in on those learning objectives that the kids need support on. So the greatest thing about the freedom and the flexibility is you have the opportunity to really focus on those kids that need your support.
Excellent. And I know when I was a teacher, and I know plenty of teachers doing it right now, you let your teacher know your interest. You let them know what kind of job you want to have someday. You let them know just like, I am super stoked about science or space or accounting. Tailoring those classes, even English, even your social studies classes, to be geared towards that kind of content. And so you let us know what you're interested in, and we'll make sure we're tailor making it for you, for your kiddo. Okay, so I do have questions coming through. Ree Murray says, yes, I love working for Epic. Thank you, and I hope I said your name right, Ree. So thank you for telling us that. Harley wants to know, when will tickets be sent for graduation? That is such a great question. It's a $100 question, but it looks like we are sending those out digitally. And so hopefully they're coming out within the next week, maybe even over the weekend. I don't know, we'll see. But those will be coming out digitally. I hope you're talking about the tickets for your 5 guests. Okay, let me see here. John says, how are students assigned to teachers? And John, that's a great question also. When you are filling out the application, you have the opportunity to select a teacher that's close to you. You can select by certification, or you can get a random teacher assigned to you if you're like, I don't know. But here's the thing. Even though you're assigned a teacher, if you get in and you're a week in and you're like, I just don't know if this is working, you can always switch teachers to find one that is more compatible with you. It's kind of one of the joys around here of all the choice you get. So you get to select that teacher when you enroll. And then if your teacher is full, that you shouldn't be able to find them. If you know somebody has availability or somebody who's getting hired, you can always send an email and we will get that switched over for you if there's capacity. How's that? So John, I hope that answered your question. I've got another question here. How does the salary work? How is my pay calculated? So, Kyle, can you kind of give us a little bit of I know that's not your area of specialty, but can you give us kind of a rundown of how the pay is looked at here?
Yes, so we have a couple of different methods. The first one is our traditional pay model where you get paid per student. So as a reg ed teacher, you get $1,150 per student per year. And then as a sped teacher, you have, for every sped student you have on your roster, it's $1,600 per student per year. And then both of them, after your first year, we have a couple of metrics that are built in for that gears towards student success, that you have a bonus potential. And what that looks like is $1,100 per student per year, based on how many students are on your roster. And then also we do have a new program, not a program, just new comp plan that we have where the minimum you can make is $40K, so $40,000 is your minimum that you can make. So no matter how many students you have, you can make that $40,000. And however it is, kind of some back end that we'll kind of get into and talking to you with. If you do interview, one of my team members will be able to kind of walk you through what that looks like for you at the end of the year.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And guys, I don't know how much to share here. I won't get super specific, but I've never, how do I say this? I have always been super compensated for the work that I've done based on performance. And I know that we get a lot of flack on performance-based pay, but this school has modeled it after the 8F report card, and it includes growth in there. So I know a lot of people freak out when they hear that, but just so you know, I was one of those teachers in the brick and mortar world where I was there early, I was there late, I was doing extra things. And guys, I can tell you, as a first-year teacher in brick and mortar, I was very much disappointed in the amount of work that I put in and watched my peers get more handsomely rewarded than I. And that just, what you put in, you definitely get back out here. So it is super awesome. And Kyle, you had one more. Can you tell us about the BLC teacher pay and how those BLC teachers are? Because I know that is a different structure than the one-to-one teacher pay.
Yes, so our BLC, like I said, is different. We have more of a consistent pay model for them. So if you're a reg ed teacher at the BLC, you get $45,000 base, and then you have up to a $10,000 potential bonus. And then for SPED, it's $50,000 base with 10% potential bonus. However, one graphic you might have seen us share on Facebook recently, is our paraprofessional pay is what we really take pride in right now. If you've seen it floating around, our base pay for paraprofessionals is $33,280, and then they have a potential bonus of $5,000. So like you've talked about, the way we compensate those who work with the students and those who make up Epic is just tremendous. And so that's one area. The paraprofessional pay is just above and beyond what we've seen across the state, and we take pride in that.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm going to lift my jaw up off the ground real quick because I know that I was a paraprofessional. That's how I got started in education. And that is huge, guys. So if you know somebody out there looking, grab them some statistics, get them applied. We need to get that out there because that is huge. And that right there, those paras and assistants are the bread and butter of the education system in the brick and mortar world. And I know that they get used and abused. Again, I was one, so I can just say that. Thank you. Let's see. Rebecca wants to know, why do you shut off the learning fund so early every year? We're 2 months left in school, and now I'm out of pocket for necessities like ink. And Rebecca, I totally understand. They have accounting that they have to wrap up so that we can get it into the audits and such. But the good news is, and for next year, I hope this helps. For this year, I cannot help. But for next year, I know I ordered my stuff at the beginning of each semester. You can get so much ink and so much paper. And so I'd order it in the beginning for the semester. I know that doesn't help you right now, but there shouldn't be a whole lot to print that we can't do digitally, or have your teacher create Google Forms for possibly, or you create a Google form for some of those things. So hope that helps, and we can get creative. And if you want to know more ways to get creative with it, email me. I'm Erin.Barnes@Epic Charter Schools. And that goes for more than just getting creative with your resources. If you want to tell me your story, if you want to be featured in a student story, send me an email and let us know. We will get that out there. Let me see here. Miss Cindy is asking, when is the last day of school this year? Miss Cindy, that's a great question. Do either of you know it off of the top of your head right now? I wanted to say it was the 28th of May.
It's usually because the 31st is Memorial Day, so 28th would be the last day.
There you go. So May 28th, and I hope that helps. So this is another interesting thing, Miss Cindy. The last day of school also is dependent on when you get that schoolwork done. My kiddos are set to be done on the 7th of May because they've worked ahead of pace. And then we're just going to keep doing chapter book reading and maybe some Epic Essentials over the summer to not let that summer slide happen. But if you're not quite done at May 28th, you can go a little bit longer if you need that extra time. I know when I was in 4th grade, here it is. I'm just going to throw it out there for you. I was held back in 4th grade, and it really wasn't, I just needed a couple more months. If I had had a couple more months, it would have been awesome, but they didn't have that whenever I was growing up. So they had to give me a whole nother year of 4th grade. Guess what? I was bored. Anyway, so if your kiddo needs a little more time, let them have a little more time. If you want to do those Epic Essentials over the summer, that's awesome. So I hope that helps you, Miss Cindy. Let me know if I can get you some more information. John wants to know, what training is provided to new teachers? And so I'm gonna let you take that one, Miss Patricia. What kind of training is provided to those new teachers?
Absolutely. I wish that every school district in the state of Oklahoma had such a wonderful training program as we do here at Epic. We have several layers of training. Some of them happen virtually. We have a Epic University, which is an online training system that provides you 24-hour access to materials and information. But then we also have dedicated staff like myself who are going with our teachers on that journey all the way through the school year and through each of the seasons of Epic. And so a lot of times, especially in the You Teach program, we have our teachers set up in a cohort. so that they have other people that they can reach out to and study and kind of throw ideas off of. And so those cohorts are meeting regularly, weekly throughout the school year. And then also when we have certain events coming up, like benchmarking, or like right now when we're doing state testing, we have dedicated specific trainings to each event that we're going to be asking our teachers to do. So no matter what the next challenge or adventure is coming up on the horizon, our teachers have that support going into it, through the journey, and even in that process of reflecting afterwards on how we can do it better next year.
Yes, thank you. Kyle, did she miss anything? I mean, that was pretty darn thorough.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was great. I want to reiterate the first thing she said about wishing every school had this. I truly believe that that's something, Epic does every year. We change with the flow, but training and how our teachers get trained, our upper admin really do a great job of listening to what our teachers need and then really integrating that into next year's training.
Absolutely. And Miss Rebecca, I see you. You said we have kindergartners, so we have a lot of coloring sheets and stuff that we print. I totally get that. Maybe do it in the flip side and have them create instead of coloring in. Maybe they're drawing apples, 5 apples, the letter A, or something like that. I will help you get creative if you want to email me, and we can help you out there. So hope that helps. Cindy says, thank you so much. And Carrie, thank you for helping to answer John's question as well. Guys, one of my favorite times of year is PLC time. Epic is huge on investing into all of their employees, not just teachers, but their administrators as well. We get together, we get to cuss and discuss. Less emphasis on cuss, okay? But we do get to just kind of break everything down and plan out the year and grab those resources together. And then again, somebody's walking with you all the way through the first and possible second year if you want that extra help for the second year. So let me see here. Lindsay says, how many teachers are you hiring, Lindsay? He did say that. Did you want to say it again real quick so that she doesn't have to go back and watch the beginning? Kyle, how many are we hiring this year?
I haven't given that a number. It changes,
Okay.
but I would say we are looking to hire roughly about 200 more teachers
In all of the different areas. And so, I mean, that's Epic.
Sorry, yes, that is
one.
Yeah, statewide. We do have other couple of different types of teaching models, if you will, on our website. So definitely, as you see the little ticker on the bottom, visit that, because not only teaching, we do have some other positions that we have created this year that would be beneficial for a lot of you out there. But yes, we're still hiring, very much so. We're interviewing. My team's doing 10 to 12 interviews a day right now, and so keep them coming, because we want to make sure we find the best of the best.
The best of the best. And like Miss Patricia, yeah, go for it, Miss Patricia.
Well, and I was going to say, one of the cool things about the way Epic looks for teachers is they find folks that are going to support students in their area, in that local community. And so that provides them the opportunity to get to come together. Sometimes some of our teachers have class meetings where they have groups of students that meet. Sometimes we have teachers that go on field trips with students because they're all in that same area, that 60-mile radius. And then also, one of the coolest things that we see with our special education teachers is, as we're working with high school students on that transition, what does it look like after high school? They have those connections and that awareness of resources within the community. So maybe if a high school students need an internship as part of their Next Step program, those teachers are actually living in those same areas that they're working, and they have those connections to help plug those students into the right places so they can learn what they need.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you. And let me see here. Elizabeth says, when will the new hires start? Kyle, do you have a start date for them?
Yes, start date is July 8th.
Beautiful. That was super easy. John says, all of the interaction, teacher, student, parent discussions, teacher training, PLC, teacher cohort, etc. What percentage is face-to-face versus Zoom? And John, that's a tough question. It's an individual kind of question because this year has been completely different than any other year we've had. This year that we're finishing up, 0 face-to-face PLCs, and that was tough. We miss those face-to-face interactions, but typically those happen 4 to 5 times per year. So in person, all together, 4 to 5 times per year. You'll also have meetings with your principal that happen every month and more regularly sometimes. Those are via Zoom. Every once in a while, a principal will throw like a backyard barbecue to, improve culture or just show that they love you. And so that's kind of on an as needed basis. And then as far as meeting up with your students, as the CDC is opening up the world and the law opens up the world, we're hoping that becomes way, 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 way more. And so some teachers meet with their students a couple of times a week. Definitely every, I believe it's 28 days, there's a face-to-face meeting at a minimum of 28 days. And that's kind of, again, dependent on the student, the family, the preferences. I know that it's kind of up to how much support a student needs and what they're able to put together for you. So, Ms. Patricia, do you have a follow-up for that one on how much time Zoom face-to-face?
Well, and I was thinking back to my first year as a teacher in EPIC in the 2015-2016 school year, and we were meeting with some of our students virtually then. And so I emphasize what you said earlier about it's really individualized, and it has a lot to do with the needs of the family and the student, but also kind of what's going on in everyone's life. I think back to October and February where we had a lot of severe weather and ice on the roads and people couldn't travel, but our students didn't have to have any interruptions with their interactions with their teachers. They were able to still reach out through face-to-face in a situation like this and keep going with that learning. So it's really a balance, but I do love what you said about regular intervals, because we believe that you need to put eyes on your students on a regular basis so you can maintain that relationship and keep that constant communication about how you're doing. And so I'll encourage those families right now that are trying to finish up the school year. You should be talking to your teacher a lot right now, making sure you understand those expectations. What needs to be done? What is the date that you're shooting for? I know with our You Teach teachers, as we finish their first year, they're celebrating as they're doing benchmarks with students at the end of the year to see those gains. How much did we go up in math or reading? So that data, those family preferences, and then also kind of being flexible is how we figure out those face-to-face meetings.
Excellent. Thank you. And Alicia, I see that maybe that's the next online session, just things that are coming on their horizon from legislators. But I don't know what that'll look like. She says she's worried about the U.S. citizenship test. And just to throw it out there, I have no idea if it'll be as high stakes as the ACT or whether it'll just take place in that social studies class. I know every year I give my students a citizenship test so that we can just kind of see how we did. And it's super low stakes, super fun. And so I have no clue what that will look like. And I don't think anybody does because it was just signed into law. So guys, thank you so much for being here today. I want to honor your time. It is 12:30. I know you guys are super busy. You have just done a phenomenal job. Thank you for tuning in, Facebook world. We'll be back soon with another episode. And until then, thank you for making Epic the top place to work and the top place to learn.